Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news, updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do click that subscribe button and the like button. I'd be grateful for both. I hope you're all doing well. It's a Thursday night. It's basically the weekend at this point. There's Arsenal news to get into today. More news about Bijlow, obviously following that news from yesterday. More links and some speculation going around that maybe Arsenal aren't going to spend a huge amount of money on one specific player this summer. And obviously, in terms of players that we've been speaking about, Gyökeres, João Neves, Bruno Guimaraes, Isak, that would seemingly rule a lot of those players out, which will be interesting. So we'll talk about that and whether we think that's the right road to go down. But look, there's loads of you here. Bordsy, Pekka, Vivi, Vlad, Icarus, Fizzy, Trixie, GG, Drax, Emilio, George Christodoulou, Jakob, Leeds Gunner, Umer, Mia, Leo Nesbit, Jesus, Jimenez, Ethan Udall, Tentego, Gabe, Amar, Hyper Protagonist, Hannah, Adam, Philip, Matt, and many, many more. Smithy is here as well. So look, we'll start with the easy stuff. The Justin Bijlow, the goalkeeper, that's potentially going to come in and replace Aaron Ramsdale. So this is coming from Sam Dean. He says Arsenal are considering Feyenoord goalkeeper Justin Bijlow as a potential replacement for Aaron Ramsdale this summer. Interest in the 26-year-old Dutch international, first reported by Telegraph, which is a Dutch outlet. So more and more people reporting the news on Bijlow. I saw some clips of him. Have you ever seen that clip? Where it's of Bijlow, where he basically he sprints out of his box to clear the ball, right? And he clears it for a throw-in, but at that point he's like miles outside of his box. And to make sure that the opposition can't take a quick throw-in, he throws another ball onto the pitch, and then there's a big drama. That's him. So if you've ever seen that clip, now you know who it is. Sporting's sporting director said they don't need and don't want to sell Gyökeres, but it would be very hard to keep him. Yeah, it's one of those. If someone comes offering you 80, 100 million for a club like Sporting, with all respect to them, they don't have much of a choice. Financially, it's one of those, especially with someone of Gyökeres' age. He's not really going to get more expensive than he is now. He could have the same season next season as he's had this season. He's probably not going to really be worth more than they're currently talking about anyway, because he'd then be a year older. So, yeah, it would be a massive gamble for them not to sell him if the big came in. Sesko is younger, and while his goals record isn't as impressive, he is set to play in the Champions League final, and he's proven at a higher level in the German league, a better option than Gyökeres. He's not playing in the Champions League final. He doesn't play for Dortmund. But no, I hear it. I would take Sesko. I would take Sesko. He's just not number one for me. He's not number one. Not sure the German league is really that much better than Portugal. I think it's slightly better. Sporting's whole model is built on selling players. If we offer good money, they'll sell. Yeah, 100%. But it won't just be us that will be sniffing around Gyökeres. It won't just be us. But so where we're coming from on that is Charles Watts, who, look, Charles doesn't have the same sources that he had once upon a time, and a lot of what he writes about now is more like speculation based on. He still knows a lot of people in and around Arsenal, but he speculates more than giving factual information these days. But what he says is normally worth listening to. So he said, from discussions that I've had in the last couple of days, I'm not sure Gyökeres will happen or could happen. I don't think we're going to see a huge transfer in terms of financial outlay. I think we'll see some good transfers from Arsenal that will make the squad a lot stronger, but I'm not sure we're going to see something along the lines of a Declan Rice, someone pushing the 100 million mark that Gyökeres will. And obviously his point here was about Gyökeres, but really that rules out most of the players that we've been talking about. That rules out Isak, that rules out Bruno Guimaraes, that rules out João Neves. So I find that interesting. I find that interesting. Uh, maybe it means that we're looking more in the ballpark of 50, 60, 70 million for players. But I don't know. In terms of really improving the squad, you're not going to get many players for 60, 70 million, 50, 60, 70 million that are going to really improve the squad, unless they are just being brought in as squad players, which I'm not a huge fan of doing at this point. I don't think we need squad players right now. I think we need players that are going to elevate and really compete for a starting spot. So sounds like a couple of 60, 70 million transfers as opposed to splashing 100 million on anyone. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Thoughts on Kadioglu? Looks likely that will happen. Yeah, we've spoken a lot about Kadioglu. I don't mind it. I'll be honest. I've not seen a huge amount of him play. I'll be straight up with you. I've not seen a huge amount of him play, but there's a lot of greenery when it comes to his FOTMob stats. There is a lot of greenery. Isak 100 million, Gyökeres 80 million, Elise 80, Neves 80, Hato 80. Who the hell are we looking at then? Osman 110. Yeah, we're definitely not looking at Osman. I don't think Hato would be 80. I think Hato would be closer to 50, 60. But Ferdy is just a faster Zinni. Yeah, we spoke about that yesterday. In some ways, he might just be a quick Zinchenko. But to be fair, one of the worst things about Zinchenko is his pace. So if you get a quick Zinchenko, that's not too bad. We can see a lot of these players we've never watched at Euros, I guess. We can, yeah. We can, actually. That's a good point. What do you think about Lookman and Scamacca from Atalanta? Yeah, I mean, Scamacca I've seen in the Premier League. I don't think he's got the right attitude. Scamacca, for me, great player, really talented player, but I don't think his attitude is right. Lookman is an interesting one. I mean, he looked amazing, of course, in the final. Crystal Palace, I think, put an offer of 30 million euros in for him previously. So, yeah, he could be a player that makes that sort of move. A Bijlow and Hato in the Netherlands squad for the Euros. I'd assume so. Let me bring it up. Netherlands squad Euros. Are they in it? Yeah, okay, but it's their provisional squad. So Bijlow is in it, but they've got 4 goalkeepers, one of which will be dropped. I don't think he will be dropped, though. Flecken will probably get dropped, I'd imagine. And then defenders... No, Hato is not there. Hato isn't there. So there you go. Paqueta's finished, isn't he? Paqueta's finished. Paqueta es finito. And what an idiot he is. Actually, we'll talk about this for a minute because it's not an exceptionally busy evening for news. Lucas Paqueta is done. He hasn't just gambled. In fact, he hasn't gambled himself. If he had gambled, it wouldn't be too much of a problem. It would be a Tony Tonali style ban. What he's being accused of is spot fixing. That's a very different thing to gambling. It's taken far more seriously, and the punishment is far more severe. So what he's being accused of is intentionally getting yellow cards so that other people who have put bets on him to get yellow cards win money. There's a story from, I can't remember, a couple of years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago, of a player for Stratford, right? He did the same thing. Him and his mates all put money on him getting a yellow card. He got a yellow card. He got banned for 10 years. And he did it once. Lucas Paqueta's been accused of doing it in 4 different games. And when it comes to the evidence that they've got against him, he comes from an island that is literally called Paqueta Island. One of the games, the first game that really flagged this whole thing, was against Aston Villa in March 2023, where he got booked. on the island of Phuket, which is literally like a tiny island, basically half the island had set up betting accounts and put on the maximum wager, the maximum amount you can put on someone getting a yellow card, all on him getting a yellow card. And then he went and got a yellow card. And if you look at the yellow card, he goes straight through the back of John McGinn for no reason whatsoever. Like, there's no danger. It's on the halfway line. Goes straight through the back of John McGinn. 10 minutes before that, he'd done a very similar thing where even the commentator had said, I'm really surprised he's not been booked for that. So it was like, there's just, the evidence is pretty damning that he's gone out of his way to get a booking when people had clearly knew that he was going to do it. But the crazy thing is, right? So he's, this island, I don't think is particularly well off. I don't think it's a particularly, affluent island. But the maximum amount that they could put on normally with most bookies is £200. That's the most you can put on a bet for a yellow card, right? And the odds of him getting a yellow card were 5-1. So they were going to make £1,000. That was the most that any of those people could make, was £1,000. Phuket could probably have just given them all £1,000 with a week worth of wages, and that would be it. Like, that's how stupid it is. He might have lost his entire career for that when he could literally have just given them the money. It's wild. It's wild. And so stupid. President Bozo, I appreciate it. When you get back to this point, thank you very much. Brendan Kennelly says, I'm hearing that talks have begun between the club and Arteta. How confident are you that it's done quick? Yeah, I would hope it's done quickly. I would hope it's done quickly. I mean, we've got to get it done. Yeah, I'm looking at the managerial market at the moment. Fuck you now. Company going to Bayern Munich. You've got Chelsea's shortlist for managers is Kieran McKenna, done a great job at Ipswich, but ultimately has never managed in the Premier League or any top division. Maresca, who's worked in the PL2. I think he won the PL2 a couple of times, and then he's got Leicester promoted. Thomas Frank, who I love Thomas Frank as a guy, but again, it's Thomas Frank. And some sort of mystery fourth manager that they haven't announced yet, that they haven't said who it is. It's wild. The manager market is awful. So we need to get Arteta signed. He's only got 1 year left. As it stands, he's only got 1 year left. I think it's Ten Hag. I've got a wild theory. Yeah, I don't know if Sportcast's in here, to be fair. I've got a wild theory, right? So De Zerbi leaves Brighton, and there's a report that a club, an anonymous club, paid 4.3 million to Brighton as compensation for letting De Zerbi go. But they want to remain anonymous, right? So that would suggest to me that the club that's paid compensation for De Zerbi still has a game left. Otherwise, they'd just bring him in now. He's free. Brighton's season's done. If their season was done too, they'd announce it. So that makes me think De Zerbi's next club still has a game left. Not many teams have games left, right? I then think Chelsea are happy for 3 of the names on their shortlist to be released, but there's one name that they want to keep secret. Presumably, that name is someone that still has a game left. So I'm thinking Manchester United still have a game left. Manchester United play against Man City, where they almost certainly lose. Ten Hag gets sacked. That's the manager, the 4th manager on Chelsea's shortlist. De Zerbi goes to United, which they basically already decided. Ten Hag ends up at Chelsea. That is my wild thought. Could be complete bullshit. Could be absolute bullshit. But I like a conspiracy theory. So, heard it's AC Milan. Yeah, AC Milan did sack their manager, so it could be. I think it's Amorim. Sporting still have the cup final. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Could be Amorim. He did come over recently as well, even though they claimed that it wasn't for him. He did come over recently. You will either end up looking like an absolute genius or a total knob. I look like a total knob most of the time. So there's an opportunity for redemption here. Yeah, I apologize. It looks like the internet's having a meltdown, so I apologize. The internet is struggling. The internet is struggling. That would be both clubs in the mud. Well, I think both clubs are in the mud anyway. Bad lag. I'm sorry. Have you watched the series when Frimpong drives around in London Colney with the players? I have, yeah. It's good. It's good. I apologize for the current internet issues. Hopefully it resolves itself. Chelsea's trying to silence me. It might be all right now. It's getting better. Chelsea and United didn't want all of that to unravel live on stream. Maybe. No, I don't know. We'll see. But I think Ten Hag ends up getting sacked either way. I know Chelsea did in theory say that they want their manager to be young, but we'll see. Yeah, if you could like the stream, even though the quality of it was just absolutely diabolical. And yeah, if you go down to the description, you can join the Discord. Where you can keep up to date with everything I'm doing and also just chat to other people about Arsenal and football. You can follow the Twitch where I'm live every evening at about 10:30 p.m. till about midnight playing games. We started Road 96. It's an interesting game. I saw Rivals being sad that Arteta is signing a new contract. Yeah, exactly. Imagine this, right? This is what always makes me laugh with rival fans. Imagine if Arteta became on the market, right? Imagine it just came out, Arteta will not sign a new contract. Every single rival fan, other than Man City, would want Arteta at their club. Every single one of them, without a doubt. So I think that says it all about him. It seems as though everyone's copying the Arsenal blueprint. They are trying to. I just don't think they understand that, like, Arteta isn't just a random ex-player. Like, I don't think they realize how good Arteta is, basically. And also, Arteta's given loads. The one thing that they're not copying when it comes to Arteta, right, is at Man United, apparently Ineos want full control over signings. They don't want the manager to really have a say in it. At Chelsea, they don't want the new manager to have any say in the transfers. They want the manager to deal with the transfers that they bring in. That's not how we do it at Arsenal. Mikel Arteta pretty much has the final say on it all. I know he says that it's all to do with Edu and stuff like that, but if what Gunner Blog said is correct, you know, Arteta was the leading force behind us bringing in Raya, even when other people at the club didn't think we should. So they're not really going for the Arsenal blueprint other than just bringing in a young manager. This is what I've been saying. He has history as a captain for us. Yeah, he's got that as well. And there were periods that Arteta got through that I don't think other managers would get through at other clubs. I think if we'd brought in, I don't know. You know, if we brought in Kieran McKenna, who had no affiliation to the club, I don't think he gets through that December. I don't think he gets through that 2 wins in 10 games. Arteta CBA to answer transfer conspiracies. That's why he says ask Edu. Yeah, basically. It's just easier. It's easier if Arteta turns around and says, oh, you have to speak to Edu, knowing full well that Edu's never going to be in a press conference. It's quite easy. Have you read the Charles Watts book on Arteta? He spoke to Pep and City backroom staff and all the ex-Arsenal players, and they all said Arteta was made to be a manager. Yeah. Have you seen the Paqueta news? I have, yeah. We just spoke about that. He is in big trouble. I mean, literally, his career might be over. His career could be over. I've got a bad feeling that Arteta's not going to sign a new contract and join Barca. Well, Barca are about to bring in Hansi Flick. Apparently, Barcelona are close to bringing in Hansi Flick. And if they do that, and Hansi Flick does well, then the thing is, Arteta is still so young. He doesn't need to go to Barcelona now. If that's the one other club that he really wants to manage in his career, he doesn't need to do it now. There is no rush for him. No worries, Ryan. Good to see you. Where do you think Kieran McKenna will go next? Chelsea or Brighton? I'd really like it if Kieran McKenna didn't go to either of them. I'd really like it if he just gave Ipswich a season. And I think if Vincent Kompany ends up at Bayern Munich, which it seems like he's going to do, I think that's the perfect example to Kieran McKenna of you're highly rated, even if you get relegated next season with a team that a lot of people think will get relegated, you'll still be able to get big jobs after it in the way that Vincent Kompany has done. In fact, actually, I think a lot of people gave Burnley a lot of people had a lot more belief in Burnley staying up this season than they have in Ipswich staying up next season. So it wouldn't be it wouldn't destroy his career to get relegated with Ipswich next season, but I'd like to see him give it a chance. Hit the like button. Yeah, if you could hit the like button, I would be grateful. Do you know what, actually? Massive shout out to all of you. Yesterday's stream is one of the most viewed streams we've had in terms of the amount of people we had in the live and the amount of people that watched it afterwards. And the likes on it were crazy as well. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. That was don't know why yesterday's stream was awesome, but it was. So I appreciate that. How is Kompany going to Bayern? I'm not really sure. Like, I think he's got a good style of play. I do. And I think if you give him better tools, he can implement that. But for Bayern Munich to do it, I'm like, is he going to have the respect of the fans? Is he going to have the respect of the players? I know, obviously, he had a great playing career, of course. But that was in this country as well. I'm like, are the Bayern fans going to really buy into Kompany and really give him time, given that he's just been relegated pretty badly from the Premier League? I don't know. Kompany is garbage, in my opinion. I don't think he is. I do think, look, being Centurions in the Championship is no easy feat, I appreciate that, Leeds Gunner. Thank you very much. It's no easy feat to be Centurions in the Championship. So I do think, there is a good manager there. It's just, how have Bayern ended up with him? And to be fair, Bayern have rinsed through about 15 different options before they got to him. It's certainly not their number one option, but are clubs right now maybe a bit cheap too? Maybe. If you couldn't manage Arsenal, what Prem team would you like to manage? That's a difficult one, really, because I wouldn't really want to manage any of our rivals. I'd go and manage like I don't know, like a Wolves or something, probably. Did you see Lee Gunner lose his shit on Hussam's stream and start talking about how much he makes? The Real Mutant? No, I've not seen that. Kompany did well in the Championship with Burnley, but then lost a lot of the players who did well. Makes sense they got relegated. Yeah, it's tough. It is tough. Coming up from the Championship is fairly brutal. The same happened to Sheffield United. What do you know about Brian Brobby? I know a bit about him. I don't know a crazy amount about him. We spoke about Brobby the other day. We ran through his stats. Brobby doesn't excite me, to be honest. Brobby doesn't excite me. Do you think we're close with Kadioglu? Turkish media seem to think it's close to being completed. Yeah, I think so. But I don't think we're close to it. I don't think we're close. I think it will happen. I don't think we're close to getting anything done at this point, to be honest. I think it's too early in the window. Has the window even opened yet? The window's not even open. So I don't think it's close to being done yet, but I do think it will get done. But then you never know you never know. You never know with Turkish media. Not Turkish media. You never know with non-English media. Until I start hearing it from the likes of David Ornstein, I'm not gonna believe that it's likely to happen. I would do so much for Saka to win the Euros, player of the tournament. He could do it. Is another left back really necessary? Depends who we get rid of. It depends who we get rid of. I think we get rid of at least. I mean, to me, it screams getting rid of Zinchenko. Really, that profile, Kadioglu's profile screams that we get rid of Zinchenko. But I also think we're going to get rid of either Tomiyasu or Kivior. So, De Jong or Neves? For the here and now, I'd say De Jong. If we're planning a bit for the future, probably Neves. Not a huge amount of news today, Tom. Mainly just more links. Sam Dean linking us again to Justin Bijlow, the Dutch goalkeeper replacement for Ramsdale. And then just Charles Watts, one of a number of people that just doesn't think we're going to spend really big on any individual player this summer. So, like, no £100 million players, which actually rules out a lot of the people that we've spoken about. Why can't we put Zinni at 8? See, people always ask this, Zinni in midfield. And, like, he can play there. He absolutely can play there. But we've had him for 2 years. And even when we've had other players that could play at left back, not at any point has Arteta put him in midfield. At any point. If he's not going to do it in 2 years, especially at times where I thought we could have been playing with Zinchenko and Tierney in that first season, I just don't think Arteta wants it. I think the main reason is Zinchenko's lack of physicality. He hasn't got the pace to press. He hasn't got the pace to chase back. He's not physically strong. So I think that's kind of the main reason. Scott Carson just signed a new 1-year contract at City. Must have the easiest and best job in the world. Yeah, Scott Carson just wins year on year by being the third choice keeper at City. It's impressive, really. It is impressive. Is there any scenario that Fabio Vieira stays in the side? He seems to be a keen provider, and beyond the fact that he's diminutive, seems like he's worth a start. I don't know. Again, I think one of him and Smith Rowe get sold this summer. I don't see a world, especially with Nwaneri coming through. I don't see a world where we have Smith Rowe, Fabio Vieira, and Nwaneri. So I think one of Smith Rowe and Fabio Vieira goes. Don't know which one it will be. If physicality, why the heck did we sign Fabio? He's slightly different. You can afford for Fabio Vieira, for me, is more of the Ødegaard replacement, and you can afford for that player to lack physicality. It's when the players either side of Rice or last season Partey or whoever, it's when both of those lack physicality that you've got the problem. Which I think we've seen. We've seen it even when we try playing like Trossard as the left 8 this season. Fabio can press. No new thing would explode if we sell Fabio and keep our skipper. He would, yeah. Bruno G or João Neves, who would you choose? I think I'd choose João Neves over Bruno Guimaraes. Nwaneri is 16. I know he is, but the rumors are Nwaneri was basically told he will get proper time and chances next season. It was one of the main reasons that we kept him. You are clown. Okie dokie. Nwaneri 17. Yeah, I think he is 17, actually. Is he 17? Yeah, he will be 17. He's been tearing it up for the under-17s. He's been tearing it up. Why would Bijlow want to be a second goalkeeper when he's good enough to play first-choice goalkeeper at Spurs or Chelsea? Maybe Spurs or Chelsea don't want him. Maybe he wants to win things. Maybe he'd rather be the second choice in a team that wins things. I mean, I say that we've not won anything yet, but I don't know. Maybe we'll offer him more money. There's a lot of reasons. Bruno's definitely going to City now with the Paqueta news. Yeah, you'd expect so. Diamande or Hato? Choose only one. Hato over Diamande for me. Yeah, Miles Lewis-Skelly's also coming through. Yeah, he is 17. Who do you think wins the Champions League and who do you want to win it? I think Real Madrid will win it. I want Borussia Dortmund to win it. Please have a look at Edison, the midfielder from Atalanta. Arsenal was linked with Coop Miners, but Edison's the real. Do you know what? That's a great shout, actually. That is a great shout. Let's have a look. Edison was unbelievable last night. Let's actually have a look at his overall. So he's 24 years old. What's that? Like 6 foot something? 6 foot? it's all right. I mean, the thing is, a lot of this is based on the way that Atalanta play. Let's go per 90. I mean, it's all right. Creativity, not bad. Pass accuracy is fine. Really. The pass accuracy in general in midfielders in Serie A is higher. So actually, even though this is like orange, that's not a bad pass accuracy. Doesn't create much, but that's fine. In possession, takes an all right amount of touches. Wins a lot of tackles, wins a lot of duels. Makes a lot of recoveries. It's not bad. The thing is, you like this is one of them. You can't get too caught up in stats. In fact, actually, let me go and show you the perfect reason you can't get. Let me show you the perfect reason you can't get too caught up in stats. Declan Rice's stats are not the greenest stats that we've seen. Declan Rice's stats, like if I was looking at this having not watched Declan Rice play, I'd be like, oh my God, he's rubbish. So this is why, as much as I like to come and look at the greenery, especially for some specific stats, you can't always be doing that. I mean, Rice's pass accuracy is much, much better, but yeah, you can't always. And I'll tell you what, watching Ederson last night, very, very good. Hunting the green again, Sean Paul. Barren lands, no greenery. Yeah. Rory, could you pull up Fofana's greenery? I want to see why he's worth 20 million euros now. Yeah, I can pull up Fofana, actually. Fofana's stats are good, though. I saw a comparison of Fofana and Onana. Was it Fofana and Onana? Look, this is nice. Yeah, I saw I mean, look. That's decent. Pass accuracy is not ideal, to be honest. That's getting really a bit too low. Yeah, there's not much greenery here, to be fair. Clive Palmer loves Fofana. I'd be lying if I told you I'd watched a lot of him play, to be honest. This is decent. These are some of the stats that I'm a big fan of. The way that Arsenal play, winning back the ball in the final third. You know, again, I mean, he is only worth 20 million, supposedly, so you're not expecting anything incredible, but I think he's a solid replacement. Maybe. Who's your dream realistic signing for Arsenal? Well, I'm still riding the Gyökeres train. The clips I've seen from João Neves looks very good, but very raw. For me, 19 years might be a tad too young for such an important role. Possibly, but then I look at who else we might be going for, and I'm not convinced that anyone else that we're going for is a better option, if I'm honest. But I'm not sure. 177 viewers, 69 likes. Giggity. Come on, lads. Yeah, come on. Get me up to 100 likes. Get me up to 100 likes, and we'll call it a night. We'll all turn around and we'll say thank you. I'm officially on the Isak train. No problem. Not anyone that's on the Isak train, you will not be discriminated against. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But yeah, I do feel like Gyökeres is becoming less likely. I do think it's becoming less likely, which makes me sad. It will make me far more sad if he ends up at a different Premier League club. But we'll see. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, and we are starting now. Clue number 1. This player is 38 years old. They are 38 years old. Clue number 2. They made 353 appearances for Arsenal over the course of 9 years. They made 353 appearances for Arsenal over the course of 9 years. Clue number 3, they captained Arsenal in the 2018-19 season. They captained Arsenal in the 2018-2019 season. Clue number 4, they scored 1 goal for France in their career. Clue number 4, they scored 1 goal for France in their career. And clue number 5, they controversially removed their Arsenal top when being unveiled for their next club. They controversially removed their Arsenal top when being unveiled for their next club. Who got it first? Who got it first? Lots, yeah, people were guessing Kolasinac after last night. You know, I rate it. I rate it. Wasn't a bad idea. But I did actually think about going for Kolasinac, but I just knew it would be too baked. The winner is where is the winner? There it is, Umer. It's Laurent Koscielny. Umer has won it. Congratulations to Umer Mixer. Second was Amar. Third was Adam. Fourth was Trixie GG. And fifth was Alcarp. So there you go. Congratulations. Congratulations. Swear you've done him recently? Nope. Nope. Umer, you did indeed win. You done him recently? I don't think I did do it recently. I'll have a look, but no. Nope. Because for Guess the Gooner, I don't even need to for Guess the Gooner, I didn't. I didn't. I know I haven't, because I have all of it in a document, and I can just control F. Ambulance. I can control F and search for a word, and Koscielny is not written down in this document until today. So I don't know what you're thinking of. But it wasn't me. I feel like Gyökeres is becoming less and less likely of not even leaving Sporting. Maybe. Yeah, we've done most of them before. Before I came back, before I had a break and then came back, we did do most of them. Show me the table. No, it's in it's in a Word document, because I have like notes for the stream each day, and it's just within that. So it's like, at this point, it's like a 50-page document. I've got an eerie feeling. This is my worry. This is my biggest worry of this transfer window, is that Gyökeres ends up at Spurs, if I'm honest with you. But we'll see. Anyway, it's time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. You have to guess who that person is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect as Umer currently has. The Paqueta news is that he is going to get a big ban for spot fixing, deliberately picking up yellow cards so that other people could make money and win bets. Anyway, this person started their career at FC Will 1900. They started their career at FC Will 1900. They went to FC Basel. They went to Hoffenheim. They then went to Deportivo La Coruña. So they went Basel, Hoffenheim, Deportivo La Coruña, and Newcastle United. Basel, Hoffenheim, Deportivo, Newcastle United. The clue is there. The clue is there, if you think about it. Right. Who got it first? The first person to get it was Adam. It is indeed Fabian Schär. I never know how to pronounce. It's Fabian. Is it Fabian Schär or Fabian Schär or Fabian Schär or Fabian Schär? Never know. Anyway, He is the answer. Adam got it first. Amar got it second. Dan Waite got it third. TikTok Lacazette got it fourth. And George Christodoulou got it fifth. So there you go. There you go. Share? Yeah. Fabian Share. Not Fabian Shah. Fabian Share. It took me ages. Yeah, it was a tricky one, to be fair. It was a tricky one. My dad's a Geordie. It's Share. Fair enough. I'll take his word for it. Yeah, Amar got second in both of those. That's unlucky. It's a good effort, though. It was a good effort. By the way, this weekend, double watch along. Double watch along this weekend. Saturday, watch along for the United City FA Cup final. 3 o'clock on Tifo. Tifo link is down in the description below. Use the code Rory, RORY, all caps, if you're new to Tifo. Sunday, also on Tifo, also at 3 o'clock, playoff final. Leeds against Southampton. So 3 o'clock on Saturday and 3 o'clock on Sunday, we will be doing watch-alongs over on Tifo. I'm actually excited for both of those games as well. Genuinely excited for both of those games. I think they're going to be good. So there you go. Link to that's down in the description. Like I said, I'll be gaming on Twitch from about 10 p.m. Going to continue with... Actually, I'm going to play a bit of that new game, that Deviant game. But we'll also probably try and play that Road 96 as well. No Champions League final. Yeah, I will be doing the Champions League final as well. That's the following Saturday. That is not this Saturday, but the Saturday afterwards. I'll be doing that as well. So there you go. But look, that is going to be the end of the stream. I massively appreciate all of you for joining, as always. If you could like the stream before you jump off, subscribe if you're new. Like I said, I'll be live on Twitch. Link to that's in the description. And I'll be back here tomorrow night, 6:30, as always, for the latest Arsenal news. Until then, have a good evening and goodbye.